Yeah, so I think one of the things that comes out in conversation, either with owners or with trainers or behaviorists, is why it is that we've got this correlation or this tandem relationship between chronic pain and mood disorders and cognitive disorders, so behavioural abnormalities.
Clarify what we mean by cognitive, because a lot of people go, I don't know what she's talking about.
Yeah, so I mean, there are different ways of kind of defining cognition, but the easiest way to define it is to say that it encompasses learning, memory, and attention. So it's basically our ability to think. So when we're thinking about behavioural cases, the important thing to remember with behavioural cases, if you're a trainer or a behaviourist, is that you could have impacts on cognition, so that's learning, memory, or attention, before you would see gross signs of chronic pain or gross signs of depression or anxiety, even though those pathways are probably leading to the cognitive impairment that's causing, let's say, for instance, things that people don't usually associate with chronic pain or indeed depression or anxiety, but things like an inability to pay attention during training. So kind of like, you know, bouncing around all over the place and not really concentrating during a training session. Traditionally, we would approach those cases through creating structure around the training and changing perhaps reward value during training and cues during training, etc. So very training focused. Whereas actually, I think now that we understand more about the neurobiology of pain, mood, and how it interacts with cognition, we're recognizing that actually some of those cases, the underlying factor could be pain or indeed mood disturbance, or indeed a mixture of the two. And that's being expressed as a change in cognition that we're seeing as bad behavior during training. So that's the kind of neurobiological link that I wanted to talk about today, because in terms of neuroscience, we've known about that for a lot longer than we've been talking about it. A lot of the neuroscience around, you know, why is it that that link exists within the brain, we've known about for decades. It's just that nobody's ever really related that to the types of clinical cases that we would talk about on this sort of platform. So either in terms of behavior cases or pain cases, or mood disturbance cases, or what we actually really truly see is usually a mixture of all of those three. It's just that they're presented for one of those. So the owner may present at the vet's for pain, but actually when you question them further, there are some mood changes there, or there are some changes in behavior that would be associated with cognitive